Yo, what is going on, man? We're back with the Steagles podcast. This is episode 23, our final episode for the season. And it's come down to the Super Bowl and two teams. We have the Niners and the Chiefs playing at Vegas. Obviously, we would have hoped it would have been, Steelers, Eagles, right, which we kind of predicted in the beginning of the season. But yeah, that didn't happen. So we're stuck here with the Niners and the Chiefs. This is a part two because they already played one time. Right. The Chiefs, that was a good game. Looked like the 49ers were going to pull through, and the Chiefs just came through and handled their business in that one. But now that we get a part two, so this should be interesting, should be entertaining. You guys know what time it is. This is the Steagles podcast where we talk
all Steelers,
all Eagles, all NFL. Let's go, baby.
Let's get it.
All right. So before we get into our picks for the Super Bowl and stuff, there's obviously been a lot of changes around. I'll start real quick here. The Washington Commanders, they fired Ron Rivera and hired Dan Quinn, the Cowboys defensive coordinator, as their head coach. So we have to see this guy twice a year now. It feels like we're going to play the Cowboys 4 times a year now, right, because we still got to pay Mike McCarthy twice, and now we got to play Dan Quinn twice. So that's going to be pretty fun and hopefully embarrassing for them. That was one of the coaching changes. Another one we got here.
Commanders are tragic, in a tragic situation. They've been like that for many years. Like there's ups and downs, but there's always more downs than ups. They're tragic and
I feel like
trash/dirt.
With the change of owners, I feel like now they probably have a better chance of possibly doing something, because they've just been sucking bad.
Yeah, but the fact that that owner was there for so long, it's gonna take some time for them to recover, and we see it. But maybe some progress now with these hires and changes.
Yeah, the good thing is they started and they're cleaning house, so they're going to start and get the people they want, the people they believe. They're not sticking with whatever the plan was before, so that's always a good thing for them. But here we go with the Seattle Seahawks. A friend of mine, Rob. I got 2 friends named Rob who both like the Seahawks, ironically, and so they let go of Pete Carroll. He was fired on January 10th, and they hired Mike Macdonald, which is the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, who I thought was a pretty good hire there because he's he's coached very well this year, I would say specifically, and that defense for the Ravens was elite. They were elite for sure. So
good coaching. Pete Carroll, pretty old.
Yeah.
Right? 70 something, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's up there.
So, nothing lasts forever. He did some good things, but I think it's time for him. And it's always good to have a fresh or something new coming to your team.
Yeah. So shout out to Mike McDonald. Glad he got out of the Ravens' horrible organization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're not going to win.
All right, another one. The Falcons, they fired their head coach, Arthur Smith, and they hired Raheem Morris instead of Bill Belichick because, there was some rumors that Belichick, he did interview, but that apparently he was asking for a lot of say and power. But the Falcons owner did come out a couple days ago and say that was false, that he never asked for any extra, power or anything like that. So he kind of debunked that quickly. So that means Bill Belichick is not. All right. So like I was saying, Bill Belichick was not hired for the Falcons job, which I thought he might have got because his resume, he obviously didn't. So we'll see where he ends up, if he ends up somewhere.
We had some discussions about this, about how he coached and his style, and if he's going to transfer to this new generation. Yeah. In my opinion, is that it's going to be hard for him to have good chemistry with this new mentality of the players and that old Patriots way that we can see now who was most responsible for it. And I don't think a lot of people is going to buy into that. So he is one of the best coaches that we've seen. It doesn't mean that he's going to be the best coach for any of these teams at this moment.
Yeah. Maybe he just sits out a year, wait next year, and see what opens up next year. But that's that. Carolina Panthers, they fired Frank Wright a long time ago, back in November, and they hired Dave Canales, which was the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, which I think had a good year with, he made Baker Mayfield look like a really good quarterback at times, and they got far. Well, they've been getting to the playoffs the last 3 years, I believe, anyway. But the fact that they did it with Baker Mayfield on offense, I think was a pretty good.
But he wasn't the coordinator when they won. the championship.
I don't think he was the coordinator when they won. No, because I think it was Bruce Arians was the head coach. Todd Bowles, which is a coach now, I think was a defensive coordinator. Don't hold me to that. I'm not 100% sure.
Leftwich was the
I think
OC
so, yeah,
or the quarterback coach.
I can't remember. Yeah, I got to go back and look.
Because, they did a pretty good job that year with Tom Brady, that whole team, whoever was the OC, which I don't remember. They did a good job. We'll see what he can do. The Panthers, we said that they're not going to be good for the next 5-10 years, so hopefully this is a move in the right direction.
Yeah. Next one, the Chargers, they got let go of Brandon Staley back in December, and they hired Jim Harbaugh, which was probably one of the biggest hires in the whole coaching offseason here. Right. I think they definitely got themselves a good coach. Hopefully he's not, trying to steal information from other teams in the NFL like he was doing in college. I'm just kidding. But no, I think that's a good hire for them. This is his second tenure in the NFL, I believe. The first time was with the Niners. Remember, he went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Ravens. Yep. So we'll see what he does this time with the Chargers.
I'm sorry. I don't like when, people keeps getting opportunities and, you want a good coach, but you want somebody with integrity.
Yeah.
And if you are cheating or if you are known for going one place and then leaving and doing that stuff, I don't want you. I don't like you. I don't respect it. But most people say that he's a great coach, so that's why he's with the Chargers now, who is one of the teams that are most overrated. That was it with the Chargers. We're now moving to the Tennessee Titans real quick. Mike Vrabel was fired, and they hired Brian Callahan, who the Titans hired, who served. He was with the Cincinnati Bengals offensive coordinator for the past 5 seasons. So I guess that was another good hire. Because Joe Burrow's definitely been one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and I feel like him being here with the Tennessee Titans. Not that they have a good quarterback, so I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I guess that was a good hire. They don't have a good team, so definitely need help.
That'll be a rebuild over there for sure. All right, so we got the Las Vegas Raiders. They fired Josh McDaniels, and they got Antonio Pierce, who was the interim coach when they fired McDaniels back in November, and I think AP did a good job. Mm-hmm. I think this job was well deserved, and this position for him, and I'm happy for him. I think they're gonna make some noise next year. How do you feel about that?
I think everybody loves him. I was hearing great things from day one, and they say that he is a Raider. He is a Raider already. So even though he played for the Giants back in the day, they say that he's the perfect fit for them.
Yeah. The New England Patriots, your boy, Kev, I don't want to put his name out there. I don't want to, this.
Nah, he's all love and respect.
I'm sure if you're a Patriots fan, no, I just didn't want others to know who the Patriot fan was. It's got to be embarrassed to be a Patriot fan this time of year. But
the good thing is over for them. They're not going to lose more games. So even though they beat the Steelers.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think they'll be a lot better next year than they were this year. A new head coach. They definitely got to get rid of the quarterback. They need to figure that part out. Right. If they figure that out, if they can get like a Kirk Cousins or get you a veteran quarterback to come in and play, I think they'll be an okay team, and they definitely won't be the bottom of the barrel next year as long as they get that quarterback situation figured out.
You're being too nice. They're going to be trash/dirt for sure.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay, they still got their head coach. They're trying to find an offensive coordinator, obviously. The Miami Dolphins are trying to find a defensive coordinator because he went to the Eagles, right. Vic Fangio, which I'm actually happy about. Seattle is looking for an offensive coordinator as well. Who else? Yeah, New Orleans needs an offensive coordinator. The Raiders were looking for an offensive coordinator. I'm not sure if they hired one, though, in the meantime. I'm pretty sure I saw something not too long ago. Same thing. Defensive coordinator is needed for the Seattle Seahawks. Or actually, they have a new DCs. Aiden Dourde, who I don't know who the hell that is. I've never heard of him. Defensive coordinator Wink Martindale left the Giants, I believe. And they got Shane Bowen. Washington Commanders. Jack Del Rio was their defensive coordinator. He's gone. Now they got Joe Witt Jr., which I heard good things about him.
A lot of changes everywhere.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy's gone. They brought Cliff Kingsbury, who used to be the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. Right. With
a mess over there too. I don't know how you get another job.
I wonder if this is a move to try to bring. They might trade for a quarterback and might bring in Kyler Murray to the Commanders. Imagine that'd be crazy. The Rams, obviously, they let go of defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. He was the head coach that was hired. Where did he go again? We were just talking about this. He went to Atlanta.
Right.
He's a head coach at Atlanta. They did hired Alex Van Pelt. Yep. Wait, why they got this guy named here twice for two teams? New defensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator, Alex Van Pelt. Right, two guys playing in the team. That's weird. Like that. But yeah, so those are a lot of the coaching changes that were happening. And, you know, as with the Eagles, we got Kellen Moore. We got Vic Fangio, and then we've been getting a lot of, you know, positional coaches and stuff like that from other teams joining us, and a lot of veterans. How about for the Steelers? Do you feel like what have they done so far? Obviously, they let go of Matt Canada, and they hired Arthur Smith, which is he was the head coach for the Falcons. He is now your new offensive coordinator. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's better than what we had. The thing is, like, it starts on the top with the head coach allowing some things and the quarterback. And we saw that we still need a quarterback. Last time we talked about how Rudolph did some things that are totally unacceptable and they're gonna make you lose games. He was staring at the receiver that he was gonna throw to, and then he can see the cornerback looking straight at him. So he see that the cornerback is looking, and he see that the guy is covered, and he cannot do anything else. He just throws it away. But then in that same game, because that's when they played the Bills, in that same game, second half, he sees the same situation. He's just staring at the cornerback. The cornerback is looking at him. He's covered. He throws it. Interception, game is over. So if you make those mistakes in the biggest moment of your career, I cannot trust you. I don't want you right now. So we got to fix that problem first.
So you want another quarterback?
Definitely. They got
Kirk Cousins?
Tom. I'll take him.
Yeah, I think he's an upgrade. He's a good quarterback, bro.
He's a good quarterback that we have. So I'll take that.
Yeah. So we're honestly waiting as these next couple months go by. A lot of moves are going to happen. Our team's going to reshape, and obviously we're going to be back to cover this in preseason week 1 of the 2024 season. But yeah, so we're moving on to the Super Bowl.
We got to talk about what happened to these games, though, to get to the Super Bowl.
You're talking about the conference games?
I know. I know I went 2 for 2 with my picks with the Chiefs and the Niners. I think it was like too easy. It was too easy to pick
I think I went 1 for 1. I picked the Chiefs and the Lions because I didn't want Niners to win. I didn't want Baltimore Ravens to win. Obviously, I'm not trying to pay $500 bet. So, yeah. So I think the Chiefs are going to take care of this, whether it was the Niners or the Lions. I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl regardless. I feel like they're the more experienced team. They got Mahomes. Like what can you do? You know, you have Mahomes show up to go to the Bills on the road, put on a show, win that game. What do he do next? He goes to Baltimore on the road, conference championship, first time in his career, go away for the conference championship, and boom, what do he do? He handles his business and he's ready to go to the Super Bowl. So I don't know, man. It's hard. I feel like it's going to be hard for the Niners to overcome what Patrick Mahomes is. And then for the Niners, obviously, they've been playing good all year. They had a short little slump where some players got injured. They lost 3 in a row. They've been really good since then. They've been blowing teams out, obviously the top contending teams. Not the Ravens, though. The Ravens, I don't know what happened there. You know, they couldn't do that to the Ravens, but it was the other way around, obviously. But then
everybody else, they took, for the most part, they took care of business the whole season.
Yeah, and so the Niners had a week 1 bye, and then they had to play, who was it, the Rams? Who did the Niners play as their first game?
The Steelers.
The Steelers in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs.
No. Yeah, you still remember that as the first game of the season? That was the whole.
I already knew. What was going to happen with the Steelers, and I knew what was going to happen with the Niners.
I'm having a brain fart right now. That's how bad this is right now. But
they played the.
Who was it?
The Packers. No.
They did.
They didn't play the Packers.
They played the Packers in the second round. You're right. Yeah, they played the Packers, and
the Packers were up.
Yeah.
The Packers were up. They messed up. They fumbled the back, and the Lions were up too. Right?
Yes, so, I believe it was both.
So both times they have come back. Impressive.
Dude, the Lions were up.
I'm pretty sure they
were up.
So both times they come up, they come from behind and they win. You gotta respect that. One time against Green Bay, Deebo Samuel was not there, who's an impact player. So both times coming from behind. Gotta give them credit. Playing really good. They're the most talented team, I think. Yeah. But they don't have Mahomes. And Purdy is gonna have to play a perfect game.
Yeah.
And expect for Mahomes to make some mistakes. The only chance I think the Niners really have is that even though they're stacked, is for those tackles on the outside not to be able to block their pressure, their defensive rush, and get to Mahomes. Unless that happens, or of course, those wide receivers, drop passes.
Yeah.
The Chiefs should win again. Better coaching, better quarterback. So I'm going with the Chiefs. And Shanahan, this is his chance to prove me that he is a great coach like everybody says. If not, you are a coach with stacked teams and you cannot get the right quarterback and you lose.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. So, again, this is part 2. This is the second time these two teams meet. So it's going to be a thrill. Just like if the Eagles next year, we went and we see the Chiefs again, it's going to be like a hell of a matchup. But, yeah, I'm pulling for the Chiefs. I'm sorry to seeing the freaking Niners do what they did to everybody all year. And you know what's crazy? These last 2 games, like you said, the last 2 playoffs games, they haven't been winning dominantly. Like, I know at least for us, the Eagles, yeah, we lost to the Chiefs last year in the Super Bowl, but the 3 games before that, we whooped ass.
Right.
Like we whooped the Giants' ass. Who did we play after the Giants? Actually, we had the 1 week bye, so then we played the Giants, then we played the
Niners.
The Niners. That was it. We only played 1 game, and then we got to the conference.
Sure.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we played the Giants, the Niners. And then in the Super Bowl, we played all right, other than that turnover where, if they don't if Jalen Hurts don't fumble the ball and they run back for a touchdown,
it's a different game.
It's a different game.
And that punt return, that was so key.
Yes.
That's key right there. Special teams are special.
Yeah.
The Ravens, they also had a chance. The first half was pretty, dominant by the Chiefs, but then they had a chance and they didn't make the plays. Like I said, Lamar Jackson, MVP. I called it before the season started, but that didn't mean that the Ravens were going to win. I was hoping that the Ravens were going to mess up because it's the Ravens. So as long as he's repping those colors, he's not going to win. And it happened again, so I'm happy for that. I'm very happy. It's just like I was watching the game and it was like the Steelers were playing.
Same here, bro.
So
I was really
the hate was real. I'm sorry, the hate was real. So, but it worked out.
The hate was definitely real, and I'm just glad. Again, I'm glad the Ravens lost because. This fool really thought that they were going to do some noise this year. They did do noise, but not in the Super Bowl. At least get to the Super Bowl. I'm glad that we made it farther than they did because that's now something I'm going to have over the Ravens. My boy can't say, oh, well, we made it to the Super Bowl and lost too. No, you didn't. You lost. We did both lose to Mahomes, but you didn't even make it to the Super Bowl. So
that's a big game. That's where you want to be. At least you want to make it to the Super Bowl.
At least make it to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're a top 2 team. You might be you're not the first one. You'll be the second one, but at least you're top 2, in my opinion. So what's your prediction on the score? Obviously, we know who you're picking.
I'm gonna go with 28-24. 28-24.
Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be it's not gonna be a super high scoring game like it was last year, but it's definitely gonna be in the 20s. So I'm gonna say 24-21 field goal. Chiefs win by field goal. Back-to-back year Super Bowl.
It was a good season. They had a great season, both teams. It's about that time to decide who is the number 1 team, and unfortunately, it was not the Steelers or the Eagles.
Yeah,
we had some high hopes for the Eagles, the Steelers. I really didn't have a lot of expectations. Preseason they looked decent, but then everything fell off.
I would say you guys overachieved in the fact that you guys made the playoffs. Right. I didn't think you were going to make the playoffs. I thought you guys were at least going to be a 500 team. You guys made the playoffs, so I feel like you guys overachieved, and that's good. You guys did more than what we expected. Now, for the Eagles, I feel like we underachieved. We started off really good, and then we just fucking lost the whole thing on the way, and I don't know what the fuck. But so hopefully next year we both overachieve, and by that I mean maybe you win at least a playoff game. That's the goal for you next year is to at least win the playoff game. For us now, it's going to be get past the fucking wild card. Like next year, we got to at least make it to the conference championship again. That's my goal.
The goal should be to get back in the Super Bowl because the talent that you guys have definitely underachieve coaching and players execution.
For sure.
So you're still gonna have a good roster. And the Steelers, they need some changes in roster and coaching. So, let's see how that goes.
Yeah. To me, as long as we don't look like we're falling apart, and like if we lose in the conference championship, but it's just because we lost to a field goal, we lost because, the other team just made a spectacular play, then I guess I can live with that. But if we have another year next year where we just look like we're falling apart and the chemistry, everything's fucked up, like I'm going to be really upset, bro, because, I don't know, what else do you change other than you start changing players? Because you literally change your whole coaching staff at this point now, for the Eagles. So I feel
if it doesn't work, then
Sirianni got to go.
Everybody has to go.
Yeah,
everybody has to go. Too much talent for having a performance season like this. This is a winning season.
100%, bro. 100%. You got anything else you want to add in here before we
Not really. What's up tomorrow? What are you trying to do? Are we going live?
So the goal tomorrow is, if possible, we're gonna try to go live at some point. I would like to do the whole game, obviously, but everything's gonna dictate what's going on in my man's life over here, and then in my life over here with kids and movement and everything. I know I'm gonna be here watching the game for sure. I might just be sitting here, have the TV on, and if you can call in, if you can't pull up, which I think will be the case. Then we can go live on Facebook and make that happen. We
definitely want to link up and make sure that we are live so that we can interact with you guys.
Yeah, because we have like Sean wanted to talk for a little bit. Who else? Ace wanted to talk a little bit. Like there was a couple people that wanted to say a couple things before we wrapped up for our last episode. Obviously, we kind of like just put this one together today. I wasn't sure how this was going to happen, but we made it happen. And if we can make tomorrow happen and get some more feedback from our fans, if you want to call that, people that join us on the podcast.
Our family.
Of course.
And friends. So we really appreciate the support. Everybody that watch, everybody that listen to us, love and respect. And like we said from the beginning, this is just to have fun and to just share knowledge and get knowledge. Just to have fun and then, rep your colors. So
of course, we want to be the fans that are heard. We want to be. Our opinions might not change. What's going on for real in football, but at least it's gonna. We like to speak on our teams and basically share our opinions because we love football. And at the end of the day. And this is just like a little hobby for us, and we really, really enjoy doing it. It's not stressful anymore. Like when we first started, I still remember, man, we came a long way from starting. Right. We go back, watch that first episode, and look at the progress we made, and then I can't wait for next season because this is gonna expand. We might not be. I might be in a new house, so we might have a different setup. Like things are gonna change, and obviously. I'm learning as video editing, all these things. I didn't know how to do any of this, and we literally just started doing it and figuring it out as we're going. So the more we do it, the better we get, the more knowledge, and the better we're going to make this content for you guys going forward.
And everything worked out, too, because what we wanted was to have interaction and other people's point of view, and we had that. We had different fans from different teams.
Yep.
So, a lot of different things and a lot of different discussions. So that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. It sure is. And with that being said, man, this is the Steagles podcast where we talk
all Steelers,
all Eagles, all NFL. Thank you, everybody. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. God bless y'all. And we will see y'all hopefully tomorrow. And if not, first episode for the preseason of the 2024 season. All right. So be waiting for that. Peace out. We're out of here.
Boss. God bless, fam.
Cheers, everybody.